In today's session, my concentration is more on difference between Excel versions and format extensions and different types of values and different types of cell references. If time permit more, I'll be explaining the cell reference name conventions. These are the topics. Mostly we can cover till here. If time permits, probably we can go into this. So this is what the topics for today. Now let's look into the first one. As I told you yesterday, let me simply copy paste from yesterday file the different versions. Then we'll try to understand. Yesterday we got to know how to identify, right? So this is what different versions and how to identify is this. Office 365 you can find from the file tab, then account, right? Okay, this is the way you can identify. Now here let me tell you the menu style. As I already told you, this is drop down, and from here till here it is the ribbon menu. Okay, and let us look into one more important change which happened in 2007, but it is not part of 2003, is nothing but the RAM size. Okay, internal RAM of Excel. You know, to perform even Excel should be inbuilt capable of handling the RAM. Okay, otherwise Excel cannot perform the formulas and everything very fast. Till 2003 version, it used to have 1 GB RAM internally. From 2007 version till 2016 version, Excel is capable of handling till 2 GB. That means your performance is obviously going up. From 2019 version, it is having 3 GB internal RAM. The performance is much more higher with compared to 2003 and more higher with compared to 2016. So very important. That is the reason when you start writing the formula in 2019, it is taking very little time comparatively when you start writing the formula in older versions. I'm sure you all must know that VLOOKUP is one of the function which takes a lot of time in Excel to perform. You write the same formula and copy paste for even 1 million cells in 2019 version, that will not even take more than 4 seconds of time. That is the power we are capable now. Okay, so this is about internal RAM. Let us try to understand more about now the key differences. What got changed? As I told you, let us put other way, percentage of difference. If you ask me probably from 2003 to 2007, I can say 100% there is a change. If you ask me from 2007 to 2010, I can say probably 30% got changed because very powerful Power Query, Power Pivot got introduced in 2010. 2010 to 2013, I can say probably 20% there's a change. 2013 to 2016, probably I can say 30% there's a change in Excel. 2016 to 2019, I can say 50%. Now you need to understand the power of 2019, because when you are comparing with 2007, 2019 is very much upgraded because the entire basic calculation engine got changed. The basic architecture of Excel got changed. You'll get to know during my course elaborately the features introduced in 2019. Now let us try to understand key differences or else the size. In 2003 version, it used to handle just 16,000 plus records. If you ask me probably even the number, I can say probably 2000 2 to the power of 10. What is the number is this? No. 2 to the 2 to the 2 to the power of 16. Yeah. 65536 used to be the number it used to handle. That is equal to 2 to the power of 16. Okay. From 2007, I'm talking about the size in terms of the rows. That means in 2003, we used to have only 65,000 plus records. 65,000 records is a very small number comparatively now, because if you take any Swiggy data for one day, how many orders he deliver in Hyderabad city, I'm sure one day the deliveries are more than 65,000 records. That means if I'm still using my 2003 version, I cannot keep the Swiggy data in one single sheet. Okay, so that's the reason it is very small. From 2077, this been upgraded to 10 lakh 48,576 records. Okay, that means in one sheet you can keep these many things. This is equal to 2 to the power of 20. In Excel, we show the power like this, exponential, right? Exactly. So this is what with respect to the rows. Now let's look into the column side. 256 used to be the columns till 2003 version. Okay. Friends, these all are important to know, because when we start using the previous version files during our audit, maybe during our work, you must surprise sometimes why my data I cannot fit into 2003 when my data is into lakhs, right? So if it is 2016, 2007 onwards till 2019, it is 16,384. This is probably 2 to the power of maybe 8. This is probably 2 to the power of 14. Okay, so this is 2 to the power of 8. This is 2 to the power of 14. This is what in terms of the size, right? Now let us try to look into Excel different versions. What are the key changes? Okay, I'm not going to give you everything what got changed, but this is a glimpse we should understand, because when we start using a different versions, we must understand whether this feature is available or not. As I said, 2003, okay, to compare to 2007, 2007, I always say 100% there's a change, because everything got changed with respect to user interface. Everything got changed. I think performance got improved a lot. Performance. Performance improved because of the RAM size. Okay. Then I can say size got improved. We have seen, and new functions and new features. Anyway, with every version, new functions and new features are always introduced. So user interface, yesterday we have covered elaborately how the drop down menu style used to be and how the ribbon menu style used to be, and performance, and we have seen how the rows and columns got changed. Size, that is in terms of the size. Performance, we have seen how the GB got changed, and with every version new functions and new features got introduced. From 2007 to 2010, out of new functions and new features, so many new functions. If you ask me, network days .intl is the function introduced. You know, we all know NPV. NPV is a function to calculate net present value. 2010 introduced with XNPV. When XNPV is there, XIRR is obviously part of it. So many functions. If you ask me about the features, can anyone tell one feature which introduced in 2010 10 but not available in 2007 from the audience? Anyone who ever regularly use Excel? Maybe it's 7 and 10. What is the feature available in 2010 but not there in 2007? Can anyone tell me one feature? Okay, no problem. Let me cover. Have you seen anytime the slicer? Slicer we can use in pivot table. Okay. Tables? No. Saran pivot table is there since even earlier version before 2003. I'm talking about slicer feature in the pivot table. Okay. And that got introduced in 2007, sorry, 2010. Then are you finding spark lines? Spark lines introduced in 2010. Along with that, so many features. Why I say 2010 is having a lot of power again? Because Power Query, Power Pivot are introduced in 2010 as add-ins. You will get to know in later sessions of mine the power of using Power Query and Power Pivot. This introduced first in 2010. 2010 to 2013, can anyone help me out now? Any feature introduced in 2013 but not available in 2010? Flash fill. This feature introduced in 2013, not in 2010. Recommended pivot tables. Recommended charts. Okay, so timeline in the pivot table. How the slicer is there, timeline in pivot table. Friends, every feature out of this I'll cover again. Okay, just for the understanding. Yeah, welcome Vinath. The session already got started 15 minutes back, but anyway, okay. So 2013, these all just for the understanding initially. Okay, so 2013 to 2016. 2016, why I say is more powerful than in terms of the features and functions, but more in terms of the power features like Power Query, Power Pivot are part of 2016 version. Why I'm saying part of 2016? Because from 2010 till 2013, it is as an add-on. Now this is part of your native Excel. So 2019 got changed many things. I'm sure you can find ideas here, right? This ideas got introduced in 2019. Can you find data types here? Yes. Data types got introduced in 2019. Lot of beautiful features and functions introduced in 2019. And along with that, dynamic arrays. The entire architecture of arrays got changed. Dynamic array functions that includes filters. In Excel, filter is a feature, okay, but thanks to 2019, now filter is part of my function list, sort is part of my function list, unique is part of my function list, sequence is part of my function list. Like that, there are so many dynamic array functions got introduced. So mostly, as I said, this is up to date basically. Okay, and insider version is having XLOOKUP. Basically, whoever attended yesterday's session, I covered what is the meaning of insider. Insider is like a beta version for the people who do a lot of experiment with Excel and give the feedback back to Microsoft. In fact, whatever the Excel you are seeing on the screen is insider version. That means it is much more advanced with compared to Office 365 in 2019. Before the world sees the latest feature, insiders started using this. So XLOOKUP introduced in 2019, Insider, Xmatch. I'm sure these all will be part of our public version very soon. Okay. These are the key changes. Till here, if anyone having any question, please let me know. I hope I'm clear. Can you all confirm whether my voice is properly audible and you're following the session? Am I, if you feel that I'm little fast, you can stop me there itself, no problem. Great. Thank you all for the confirmation. Okay. Now this is about the versions. Now let's look into the format extensions. Let me show you something, okay, in Excel. Let's say, for example, I've taken some, sorry. Yep. So I'll take some blank cell, blank Excel. I've taken some blank Excel. Okay. I'll convert this extension. Let me go here. I'll go to view. And are you finding file name extension? I want to see this. What is the file name extension? Are you finding now with every file there is a file extension? Now let me convert this into zip file. You may be surprising why I'm converting my XLSX into zip. You'll get to know. Yep, this entirely got changed to zip file. Now my zip file must have what? Whatever there in the Excel, right? Now let me open. If you observe, the zip file is having the XML. Okay, let's try to understand. Anyway, fine. See, the zip file is having an extension now. Okay, what I'm trying to tell here, the background format of the Excel application is XML. Okay, let me open it. Let me take a screenshot and let me keep it in our folders file so that you can understand. Yeah, the background format of Excel is XML. Okay, XML means extensible markup language. Okay, it is extensible markup language. Basically, this is to carry the information. You can read it more elaborately about XML later. Okay, this is just I'm just trying to tell you the definition of XML. Now, why this is more important to know, you will get to know. Yeah, if you save Excel till 2003 version, that gets stored into .xls format. If you observe this Excel, first Excel has taken from XML. Okay, this is the extensible markup language. Now let's put E. They have taken this Excel from XML. And what is the meaning of S? Can anyone tell? S means spreadsheet, because Excel is a spreadsheet application. From 2007 The extension got increased to 4 characters. XLSX. You know the meaning of XLS. Now, can you tell me what is the meaning of X? Last X. Can anyone from the participants tell me the meaning of X? X means macro free. Absolutely. So, 2010 version dot XLSM. Exactly same. That means this is macro enabled. What's the major difference between these two? In a other way around, we cannot store. Now let me write here itself. Means we cannot store macros in .xlsx format. Very important. Let me take a small example. I've opened one blank Excel file. Anyway, I'll explain you later how to record macros and so on. I'm going to view tab. Let me start recording a small macro. Sample 1, let it be, no problem. My macro is very simple. Okay, keeping the background color of yellow for this, and this file is to explain the difference between .xlsx and .xlsm. Okay, now when I'm trying to save, I just click Ctrl S. Now let me start saving this file because this is a blank file. Directly I've opened by using a shortcut Ctrl plus N. Okay, let me, oh, it got auto saved. Okay, let me start saving. Okay, so I'm trying to save this as .xlsx, right? So let's go back to our batch number 9. Let me take as macros save. Now let me close this Excel, open this file. This is macros. Let me open this. Ideally, okay, ideally this should not be here, but I mistakenly stored this into personal. I'm sorry. Let me record, stop recording. Sorry. Oh, I have not stopped the macro. That's the problem. I'm sorry. So record the macro. I'm sorry. Sample 2. I wrongly selected this as a personal. Let me select this workbook. Okay. Now can I click OK? Yes. This is just go here and change the background. Don't confuse. Earlier I did a small mistake. Instead of recording a macro into the this Excel workbook and stopping the macro, I forget and I stored the macro in the personal Excel. Okay, now I save. Okay. Now if you observe, there is a macro in this Excel file named sample2. Now, but this Excel format is .xlsx. Yes or no? Now let me try to save. Now what is the message it is trying to show? Let me just take a snap of it and put in our working file so that you will get to know. Now what is the message it is showing? The following features cannot be saved in macro free workbooks .vb project. To save a file with these features, click no, and then choose macro enabled file type in the file type list. That means .xlsm. To continue saving the macro free workbook, click S. Then what will happen if you click S? Every macro will be erased. So very much you must be very careful. Okay, because especially when you have macros and you are trying to save, and you have to make sure that you are trying to save in .xlsm. Now let me take this screenshot. Friends, these all macros and everything will cover in our later sessions. Since the point came, so here I'm just covering a small thing here. Now let me keep here for the reference. Now, from 2000, okay, sorry, 2007 onwards, these all are the versions. Now, there is one more version named .xltx. TX means exactly same like a macro free, but friends, T means template. Okay. Now, yeah. Now there is one more extension .xltm, right? So M means we all know macro enabled. What is the meaning of the template? That's more important to understand. Now what I'll be doing, let me just close the screenshot. Okay, let me open one blank Excel file. Now let me close all unnecessary windows. Okay. Yeah. Now let me open one. This is also not required. I think I'm done. Yeah, let me open one blank Excel file. And I made a small formatting here. And let's say this is nothing but the header. Let me put into a different color. And in this, let me put a white font. Okay. And this is what the totals at the bottom. And let me put this into a different color maybe. Okay. And let me put the white color and let me have the border for this. And let's say if any two column data is there, this is the format I want to keep. Every time to keep the same format, it takes a little more time for me. So what I'll be doing, there's a blank book to write, very blank Excel directly by using a Control N shortcut. Now let me open our master shortcuts. Today I've used a couple of shortcuts. I think one shortcut just now I have used is CTRL plus new. This is to, sorry, CTRL plus N for new Excel workbook, or else opens new Excel workbook. And I have used one more shortcut today, that is F12, is to save as. If you want to save any of the file, F12. Okay. Now let me try to save this. I just clicked F12. And when I'm trying to take this as template, are you finding anywhere here the template? Yes, XLTX. It has taken me directly custom office templates. Let me control C for the time being. Okay. Now, template for batch 9. Save, close. What is an advantage of this? Let us first, since I have copy pasted the navigation, now let me paste that navigation here and let us see. As of now, this template is there. Okay, custom template. And also if you see, even the icon got changed for the templates. Okay. Now what I'll be doing, now let me save this file. Now let me close this and now let me save it. And let's go to the file tab. I must find, whenever I go to new is basically, okay, to have a blank Excel or to have the templates. Okay, my template must be somewhere here, or else I can even load to here, so that next time whenever something is required, I can get it back. For example, save and close. I think maybe because the application got, do you want to save? No, I don't want to save this. Okay, so let's go and open this file. Maybe the template has to load into my templates. I hope you're following my point. Whenever I want to use the same template for so many times again and again, instead of opening that template, I can go to the file tab because I store it as a template. Let's go to new. Now I must find the template, otherwise, yeah, there must be something with that. Yeah, I'll explain you in the session, next session, okay, why this is not coming. Probably I need to look into the master templates, okay, because this Excel is there in the C drive, in the master file and so on. When the files are there, I must know and save the same thing in the template master folder so that I can find it very easily. Ideally, that must come here because, yeah, I think this is the same template for batch 9. I think it is the same because, yeah, yeah, this is the way. I think it is taken correctly. Oh, I have mistaken. I've taken 9-1. Okay. So this is the way we get it. Next time, whenever I want to use the same format, instead of going anywhere, and I can do that. Now, let me do it again, just for the understanding. Template is basically a model or a format. Every time, instead of myself, doing something and opening the same file and editing it, instead, what I can do now, let's say there is some other format in which where I want this type of thing is required, and I don't want to do this format again and again. So then what I'll be doing, I'll store this F12. What I told you must store this as a template.xltx. It will by default take you into custom templates. Now let me put this name as template for, well, this, let me give a different name, sample2 template. Save. Now close. Now let me go here. You can find the same here. Now let's go to new and personal. There are two. Okay. If I want to open this, just double click this, will get open. Okay, that will be open. And you can start editing this. And once you start editing and store it .xlsx, I'm sure you can start working on this. That is the way the template works. So XLTX, if template is having a macro, it is XLTM. There is one more format extension, that is XLAM. XLAM, it is directly having a macro. You'll never find something XLAX because add on A means, let me explain you what it is. Add in. Okay. Add in is basically when I start covering about the macros, you'll get to know. When I store something in Excel as a macro, every time if I want to run the macro, I should open that Excel file. Instead, I can go to the developer tab and I can import the add-ons. You can go here, and these are the add-ons by default Excel has given to me. If you want to import it, you can go to add. Then it is asking me to take a couple of add-ons. Now let me control C. Now let's go and paste here. When you are trying to store the add-on, that will be stored here. Okay. As of now, can you tell me how many add-ons are there in my case? Number to text is there, invoice is there, console INV is there. I've prepared one add-on, and there are user definition, user defined functions are also there. Okay. Now, whenever I'm trying to store something as an add-on, now let me directly, okay, F12, save as. Now let me select add-on XLA. Yeah. Okay. Now, once you select it, see, it is exactly taking you to the same thing. Okay, same path. Now in this, whatever the add-on, you can add it. Once you add, how to get it into your Excel? You can go here, com add-ins. Now I can go to add. Now I want to take now all files. In that, let me take it number to text. Let me double click. Okay, and the users is not valid. Okay, that is maybe something wrong. That's fine. You can take any of the add-on. Just let me click OK. Now see, earlier power pivot is not there. I imported back into my Excel. If you don't want to display here, just go here and uncheck. And if you want to add from your computer, from the directory, you can go to add and you can get it, as simple as it. This is the way, adding something. I'll cover this elaborately when I go into my macros, and while I am storing the macro, how to store the macro. Is it as an add-on? If it is taking as an add-on, what is an advantage? In my organization, 100 people are there. Instead of myself sending XLSM file everyone, instead they need to open the file every time. I can send this add-on and they can import the add-on into their Excel. That means that is there with every Excel. Okay, that's the way it happens. So that is what .xlsm, XLAM, I'm sorry. There is one more. Let me give the navigations. These all are very important. Add-ons, add-in, stored in the navigation. Mostly this is the same standard navigation. Okay, maybe version to version it may be little different, not version, OS to OS it may be little different, OS version. So 90% of the cases this is same. Probably here users, my name is there, in your case your name may be there, and from app data mostly it is same. And I've taken template related, right? Let us try to understand, okay, where this templates stored in. I think I've taken the, if I want to know the navigation, what I need to do, F12, select XLTX. This is the navigation. Control C. Now Control V. This is the navigation for the templates, and the following is the navigation for the add-in. As simple as it. The last format extension is there. .xlab. Sorry. .xlsb. XLS till here we understood. What is the meaning of B? B is the binary. Generally, .xlsb is used to store the Excel file exported, okay, or else, yeah, exported from external applications. That means when I'm trying to export any of the Excel file from any ERP or applications, generally they get stored, that will be stored into .xlsb format. Why? Because the file size will be drastically down if we store the large Excel file in dot XLSB format extension. Let's say whenever I have a huge Excel file, instead storing into .xlsx, if I store into .xlsb, the file size will get reduced. We will try to take a small example whether this is correct or wrong. What I'll be doing, now let me open one blank Excel file. Now I'll try to take, now first let me save this file, because if something happened to this, I don't want my, I'm just taking a very blank raw data. You may not find major difference, but when you have a really huge data, then you will get to know the difference of file size. Now let it be maybe I'll take uh, n 1 lakh, right? From here, let's take here. Now let's say I'm trying to write something, a number, or else let me use the and between. Anyway, you'll get to know the meaning of it a little later. Let us hope this will not stack up, because I'm trying to write 1 lakh into n columns. That means 14 columns, 14 lakh formulas I'm writing. It is taking little time because the formula has to come, copy paste special values. Okay. Now let's put some background, some color, very basic color maybe. Okay. Now let me save this file. Our batch only. Saving as XLSX format. Let it be. Close it. I want to at least show you a minor difference in terms of the size. Okay, now it is 9 KB. Have you seen this? 9454. The same file, let me control C, control V. Now let me take this .xlsp.
There's no change. Now let me open it. Generally, you can observe Excel cannot open restore.xl because the file format or file extension is not valid. Verify that files has not corrupted and that the file is matching. Other way around, we can work in a different method. We'll open this file. I'll store it as a .xlsb. This is general method we follow. Basically, we are trying to convert from directly system to .xlsb. Okay, so let me save as. So the file size is little high. It's taking little time. Please bear with me. Now let's go and store it as a .xlsb where I'm finding that. Are you finding here anyway the binary? Yeah. Okay. So let me save. At least there must be some small difference. Check it out. How much size got changed? Same content, everything is same. Okay. That is what the advantage I'm talking about. Let's take this. I hope everyone understood the concept. I'm practically giving you examples with each and everything so that conceptually we must be clear. It's not about okay theoretically. Theoretically, to learn it, there are so many websites, blogs, and everywhere it is there. But conceptually, before you are gonna try, so that everyone will be comfortable with the real use of okay all these file extensions. This is the way it happens. Okay, in the above example, let me write. Screenshot. Both files are having the same content, but there is almost 30% size reduction in case of .xlsb format. This is the advantage of that. Okay. So till here, this is about the format extensions. I think I'm very clear and elaborate explaining you each and everything. If anyone having any question, please let me know. I think nothing is unanswered here. Everything we tried understanding background formatting, meaning of each and everything, and so on. This has been introduced from 2007. This is still 2003. However, still any file you can still open and store save as a 2003.xls also that supports. Can you all please confirm till here if the subject is clear? Am I clear till this point? Okay. Do you have any question till this point? Anyone having any question, please let me know. Out of everything, this is very important because generally in our offices, same template sometimes we may need to use. If that is the case, we must know where we need to store it, right? Instead of saving as .xlsx, you can store it as .xlsm, as simple as, sorry, xltx, as simple as it. Okay, can I go ahead? Yeah, friends, before going ahead, we'll take quickly 5 minutes break and we'll come back. Okay, whoever would like to move out of your system and come back within 5 minutes, please come back. Now the time is 7:24. We'll start sharp at 7:29. Okay, and today we'll take the session till 8:15, around 8:15 to 8:30. In between we'll stop. After 5 minutes, I'll join. Yeah, we'll start the session. Let us come back.
Okay, welcome back. Uh, one of our participant asked me to explain add in again. Okay, no problem. Add in is basically, I'll open with a practical example. I've opened one file and I'm recording a macro. Macro is basically having the code, right? I can just go here and I can start recording. I'll explain about the recording later. Don't look into that. I store this sample tree and I recorded a small in this Excel workbook only. Click OK. Now this add-in is something probably giving a formatting in this area. Okay. And this formatting in this area. And maybe one more formatting in this area. This is a small macro. Okay. As a very sample example, I've taken this. Now, let me stop this macro first. Okay. Now, either recording the macro or writing the code, this is what the code it has written at the backend. If you look into the edit, this is the entirely code it has written. Now, what I'm trying to do, I would like to save this. I don't want to save it as .xlsm. Why? Because now let me store it as a .xlsm macro instead adding so that you will get to know. Save it. .xlsm I have stored, right? I think I've stored it as a .xlsm. That's right. Close it. Now, if I go to the view tab, macros, can I see any macro here? No. If I want to run that macro, I must open even that file. That means now I have to open this file, then only I can run that macro into this Excel workbook. Now, uh, let me enable the macro. Now, in this, now let me come back. Can I see the macro? Yes, now I can run the macro. What is the disadvantage of that? Every time when you want to run a macro, which is stored in some Excel file, that specific file I have to open every time. Now let us do the same thing. Now I'll open this file. Instead of saving this as .xlsm, let me open this file. This is having a macro, right? Now let me store this as .xlsm. Okay, I can, instead of storing as .xlsm, let me store it as a .xl add-on, .xlam. Now there are so many add-ons already. This is macro as adding. Now let me save. Now let me close. Now if I go to my developer tab, click com add-ons. This is by default with your Excel. Okay. If I go to add, in that folder, even just now whatever I have added, that must be part of it. Yes, one sec. Add on, all files. I think I can take this macro as an add-on. Okay, what it is saying is not a valid add-in. Why? Okay, so power in Excel. Just give me 1 minute. Is there any new place where it is getting added? No, this is the only place. This is the add-on when I'm trying to. Just give me one sec. Why? Is there any extension got changed in the? Because mine is insider, so I always surprise couple of things. We need to have a very track of everything. Okay, so just give me 1 minute, Sudhir. You can try in the meanwhile the same thing. You can record a small macro and start storing into dot XLSM. I'm just trying to see is there any other format than XLSAM. So okay, instead of XLAM, let me try with XLA. Okay, so let me store, let me save. Okay, no problem. Compatibility issues may come. Now let's go to com add-in, add. Now I would like to take everything. I suppose this must work. If not, okay. Friends, regarding this error, let me check recently anything got added or maybe the folder got changed with respect to the add-ins. I'll explain you tomorrow. Okay. So let me take this error and let me explain you when this error will come tomorrow. Okay. Sudhir, is that fine? Okay. Can I come back on this tomorrow with respect to the XLAM? Yeah. I'll tell you why this error is coming. Okay. In fact, because you asked me the question, I did not get the time. In my Excel, there is a add-on which I built that is, I can spell it as an Indian with a user-defined formula. But surprisingly, this is not working. Maybe because when I recently uploaded something relating to com add-ons, I missed. Instead of com add-ons, let's go to Excel add-ons. Oh, maybe is this? Ah, I think I have mistaken. Okay. This com add-on is something, okay, where probably Excel is going to give us. That means Excel as well as backend programming. See, these all are by default Excel related. Okay, we got the answers with it. You should go to Excel add-ins. These all are the add-ins. Do you remember this is the one which I have just now added? Excel instead of macro instead of add-in. Let me click OK. Now you can find that maybe view tab, no, review, data. Now let us see where it is. That icon, I can get it wherever I want. Okay, and we can start using that macro again. Okay, I'll explain a little in depth with a small example tomorrow. Okay, don't worry. I was mistakenly selecting the com add-ons instead of Excel add-on. Okay, now this is what the entirely with respect to the add-ons and so on. Now let us go back. Let's go back into our values. Okay, now I think we are a little elaborate with respect to the file extension. Now let us understand the uh, hierarchy. Okay, maybe the chart of hierarchy is basically the entire application. We call it as a spreadsheet application. We all know it. In the spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet is one of the example. There are so many spreadsheets in the market. So one entire Excel file, I call it as a workbook. In the workbooks, what we have, worksheets we have. In the worksheet, what we have, rows and columns. These two are same, rows and columns. Okay. Each row and column, wherever it intersects, what we call that a cell. This is what generally the hierarchy of the entire Excel. Okay. That means if I want to learn Excel, there's no concept of spreadsheet, there's no concept of workbook, because we don't do anything in any of these. Whatever the activity we do the activity in a cell. So let me start this topic, understanding the cell. Now if I ask you the question, how many types of activities we can do in a cell? So activity in a cell, I'm just trying to narrow down the entire concept. So we are trying to understand the concept of cell, activity in a cell. So how many activities we have, we can do in a cell? I feel we can do three types of activities. One is we can enter the values in a cell. Second one, we can write formulas in a cell.
Third one, we can apply formats. This is what? Three activities we do. Other than these three activities, we cannot do anything in a cell. Okay. So whatever you do, that must be either entering something, a value, or writing the formulas or applying the format. Okay. Now we'll try to understand about values, formulas, format, elaborate. Now let us go to the first one, values. If I ask you a question, how many different types of values are there we have? Excel cell can have just three types of values. One is number, the other one is text, the other one is Boolean values. Okay. Let me take a small example for the number. 500 is a number. ABC is a text. Boolean value means either true or false. But what is an identification logically in Excel, whether it's a number or text or a Boolean value? Numbers by default right aligned. Text by default left aligned. If you observe, that's evident, right? Boolean value by default center aligned. By default, I said. Later, if you want, you can change it. So this is an indication. That's the reason whenever we would like to convert a number into the text, we put a single quote 500. This is text, as the default alignment is left side. This is by default. Again, I'm telling. Again, one more important point we learned. To convert a number into text, we must enter single quote, single apostrophe, you can call single quote before the number. Okay, this is the way it happens. Now this is about different types of values. Why values are very important? In a cell, constant means a value. That means if you write in a cell 100, it's a constant, it's a value. Okay, every formula results in Excel a value. Every argument in every function must be a value. I hope you're getting my point. So if I write a formula, the result must be either a number or a text or a Boolean value. If I write an argument in a function, the result must be either a text or a number or a Boolean value. If I write a constant in a cell, the result must be the constant must be either a number or a text or a Boolean value. So anything that must be around these three things. In other way around, if I learn these three things, I think I can understand. I'm done with 50% of Excel, because you take anything in Excel that will roam around this. Boolean value means either true or false. This is about small introduction about the friends. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is about the Boolean value. Okay. Now let us try to understand about Formulas. Formula must be start with, what is the first rule of the formula? Formula must start with equal sign. Friends, many people may keep plus sign before equal to. That's not a rule, that is a comfort. Okay, even though it works, but have an habit of keeping equal sign before the formula. So now let us start looking into the basic things. Equal to 100. What is my answer? 100. So this constant, not constant, I can derive a rule here. Number in a formula will not change. Okay, that means if I write equal to 100, I can use numbers directly in the formula, other way around. Numbers can be used directly in the formula. Yes or no? Yes. Equal to 100, got my answer. So now, if I put equal to 500, possible, same thing as above. Because it's a number I can understand, and Excel also understood, and it has given me the answer directly. For example, equal to, now let's say XLism. What is my answer if I enter? Okay, if you observe, text cannot be entered directly in the formula. Try to understand. This is result, this is formula, this is rule or remark. Okay, very important. Please concentrate. This is the heart of the entire session, which we'll be talking in coming days. Numbers you can enter directly in the formula, but you cannot enter text directly in the formula. Example is this. Excelism is a text, we all agree. I kept it into a formula, Excel doesn't understand. Okay, so text cannot be entered directly in the formula, this is a rule. Numbers can be entered directly in the formula, it's a rule. Now, for example, R12 or else maybe A31. What is this? This is a number or text? This is a text. How do you know that? Because it's a left alignment. Just now what I told you, text cannot be entered directly in the formula, we agreed. Now what I'll be doing? Equal to A31. Okay. Ideally, I should get the same name error. Yes or no? Because if I interpret this rule here, text cannot be entered. A31 is a text. Directly in the formula, this is a formula. Then I'll get name error. I must get name error here, right? No. That means there is a rule. This rule is correct. Okay. You cannot enter text directly in the formula. However, if the text is matching with cell name, the the referred cell value will appear. Displays as result. Try to understand. Don't confuse. This is text. There is no doubt at all. A31 is also matching to a cell name. That's the reason I'm getting my answer. For example, equal to sum of A32 colon A32. What's my answer? A32 colon A32 is a text. Or else, let me take A32 colon A32. Okay. Still I'm getting the same answer. Okay. However, text is matching with a range name. Or else instead of this, You can start from here so that it will be displayed. Don't confuse. Okay, we are trying to talk about the rules. In this case, it's trying to it is matching with a cell name, so it has displayed that cell deferred value. In this case, it is matching with the range name. Now let me introduce you the concept of defined name. In fact, I started this concept yesterday. Now let me put the remarks here or else here. Every cell having it, its own name by Excel. So name that we all know either A1 style in A1 style or R1C1 style. We know this point. Now, if user want, he can define his own name for any cell or range. Now, if I go Excel, if I go here, A35 is the native name for this. Yes or no? But I want to give the name for this as, let's say, uh, India. Okay, enter. Now, if I go and keep my cursor here, earlier it has shown me A35. Now it is showing as an India. That means A35 gone. Now the name of the cell is not anymore A35. No. When you give a defined name, it is an additional name to the existing name. After defined name is the additional name, another name for the cell, for any cell or range. It is not the substitution in the okay with the existing name. That's not correct. So now this is a defined name. Now what is an advantage? Let's say equal to. Now what is the name I kept? India. Now is India is referring to 35? Yes. Since India is referring to 35, it is exactly taken from where? Because now if the text is matching to defined name, the referred value displays as a result. As simple as it. Now let's come back to the one more important thing. Because I told you text cannot be entered directly in the formula. Now let's try to put everything here as a rule. Text cannot be entered directly in the formula unless the text is matching to any, what are they? Cell name, range name, defined name. Anyway, I'll cover in the later sessions. Okay, table names. Okay, pivot table names, etc. Okay, if it is matching to this, it can understand, right? If not, if not, since it is not a valid name, Excel displays which error? Because it's not a valid name, Excel display name error. If you observe one more important thing, the only error in Excel which ends with question mark sign. Can you tell me the reason why? Because Excel may be questioning the user that which name it is. Okay, that is a way when we are trying to have any error or anything, we should know end to end so that When we get an error, we'll get to know immediately. Let's say name error is there. Then immediately we'll get to know, okay, my function name is wrong, or else some defined name is there which got deleted. Okay. In many cases, name error will come. Okay. So this is the way the name error appears. If anyone having any question understanding this, please let me. I'm going little elaborate more into that so that you will get to know the beauty of understanding the advanced. These all are in-depth concepts. Now it's very simple. Now, if I go back and put this cursor here, Excel is questioning itself. Is it matching to any cell name? No. Is it matching to any range name? No. Is it matching to any defined name? No. Then which name it is? That is what the question it is asking me back. For example, equal to, I kept, for example, my name Saran. Name error, obviously, because Saran is not available. Now what I'm trying to do, I'll go here. For this cell, can I keep a name as a Saran? Yes. Automatically this got changed to 100. Now because Excel can identify some name for this, right? That is the way defined names happens. Now let us start looking into more about the defined names. In Excel, this is what a defined name manager. Okay, defined names you can find from the ribbon menu. I'll come back to this concept again, defined names. What is a navigation? Ribbon menu. Then in that, formulas group, formulas tab, I'm sorry. Defined names group is entirely talking about the defined name. If you click a name manager where you can find all the defined names in Excel. Okay. Shortcut for the name manager is Control plus F3. Let me open my shortcut file. 7. Control plus F3 is name manager. Okay. Because anyway we are here, let me put Alt plus Control plus F3 defined name. Okay. Defined name pop-up will come. Then F3 will display all defined names. Okay, don't confuse. Let me go here. If I put Control F3, you can find a defined name manager. Now let's say there are two ways giving a defined name. There are two ways giving defined name. One is directly select any cell or range, then type the defined name in the name manager. Yes or no, that's what I'm doing. I am keeping my cursor here, just going here, typing. Second one, okay, follow defined name navigation, then click define name. This is the one, okay. This is what the pop-up it is displaying. Then you can find this type of pop-up. Just as an example, okay. This is what the pop-up disappears. Okay, and I told you one more shortcut for this. To go to this pop-up, what is the shortcut I told you? Alt Control F3. Alt Control F3, right? Directly you've been there. F3 is basically, let's say I'm trying to write the formula, maybe later I can even have hundreds of defined names sometimes. I don't know which defined name, I forget the name what I kept. In those cases, simply I can put F3 so that paste name pop-up will appear. Okay, this will be having all the defined names. Once you click paste list, all items will appear. Have you seen this? India, this one. Okay, what is the reference name it has given? So based on that, it has given. Okay, so that's the way it happens. So this is what I defined a name. If anyone having any question, please let me know. I'll cover about defined names little later. Okay, little more elaborate. Now, I think we are following cell name. Then, yeah, we started the formula. In that, we are trying to understand how the numbers react. Now we understood how the text react. If text is having cell name, range name, or defined name, there is no problem. Now let's look into the final rule. If user would like to enter text as a constant, then the text has to be covered in double quotes. That means just this one and this one. In double quotes, Sharon, this means Saran text as per Excel, formula. Okay, now let's try the same thing. Equal to, in double quotation Excelism, Excel understood. Please check it out. So this is the way it is giving me the formulas. Okay, or else equal to in double quotation. Let's put, okay, Sudhir. So copy and paste. Okay, so this is a formula. Okay, there's a Excel 2013 formula. This is, maybe if I send this file and open in your system, you may get value error. Okay, because sorry, name error, because this formula is not there. So what I'll be doing, let me select this entirely, copy paste special values, so that formula will disappear, value will remain, so that even if you open the same thing in your Excel, you can find the same formula. Okay, so let's look into the third one. We have seen how number reacts, how text reacts. Now let us look into the Boolean value. Now equal to true. What's my answer? True. So equal to formula text. What is the meaning of it? Formula, okay. We can enter direct Boolean values directly in the formula. That means equal to false. If, okay, equal to false, same thing. Exactly. Control C paste. You can enter Boolean value directly in the formula. Boolean value can be anything. Okay, true or false. Okay, this is what about constants in the formula. Let me put the title. Okay, in the formula, this is subtopic, concepts in the formula. So we understood a couple of things. Now let us try to understand. Another 10 minutes I'll take, then 8:15 we'll close it. Now let me rename this as, because I kept chart here. Okay, I got my defined names chart came. Now this is value types. Okay, now we'll try to understand small formulas for 10 minutes. Okay, will in Excel, arithmetic, not only in Excel, in maths basically, arithmetic expressions. What is arithmetic expression? If we use an arithmetic operator, that becomes arithmetic expressions. Okay, so what are the arithmetic expressions? Plus, minus, then multiplication, then divided by, then square root. Okay, square root is not here. Exponential, etc. These all are arithmetic expressions, are called as arithmetic expressions. What is the important rule? What is the important rule here? In the arithmetic expression, only numbers are allowed. One more rule, arithmetic expression always results what? Which value? Number value only. You never find arithmetic expression suddenly giving you text as a result, right? So that's the meaning of arithmetic expressions. What is the meaning of logical expressions or logical tests? Here in other way around, text cannot be allowed. Obviously, that's a other way meaning, but arithmetic expression. Boolean value can be allowed. Okay, try to understand the architecture. Boolean value can be allowed in the arithmetic expression. If Boolean value is allowed, then how Excel understands? If Boolean value allowed, Excel understands one true as 1 and false as 0. You will get to know the meaning of it. I hope everyone understood the meaning of it. Arithmetic expressions are possible in Excel by using these are the arithmetic operators. Okay, once you use the arithmetic operator, that becomes arithmetic expression. In the arithmetic expression, only numbers are allowed. Text you can is not allowed. Boolean value can be allowed, but Boolean value is allowed. Then how Excel understand? Boolean value true means 1. Boolean value false means 0. Arithmetic expressions always results number only. Okay. Logical expressions means if we use a logical operator, that is called as logical expression or maybe logical test. Then what are the logical operator? Can anyone tell? Probably equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to are called as logical operators. So very important. Okay, so now what we can use in the logical operator? Anything. We can use numbers and text in the logical operator. Logical operators, logical expressions always results what? Boolean value as a, okay, Boolean value only. You will not find a logical expression giving you a number as an answer. You never find a logical expression is giving you text as an answer. Though I told you we can use numbers and text in the logical operators, but there is a limitation. Okay. All logical operators can be used for the numbers. Okay. But in case of text, only equal to and not equal to logical operators can be used for the text. Obviously, right? Why this is, I hope everyone is getting the point. I can compare the numbers. I can use greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, equal to. But can you use for a text, can you compare the text? This is because we cannot compare the text. Now, example, one more thing. Numbers, I'm talking about little architecture of the designed how values got designed. Numbers are ordinal in the nature, meaning we can compare one number to other number. Texts are not ordinal in the nature because we cannot compare one text to other text. As simple as it. That's the reason I used equal to, not equal to only for the text, but I can use any logical operators for the numbers. This is about, okay, the logical expression and arithmetic expression. Now, let us start writing a couple of small formulas. Equal to 100 plus 100. Let's try to look into that. This is a rule because I started with equal sign, then Excel understand this entirely is a formula. In the formula, can I use numbers directly? Yes. That's the reason without anything I directly used. Can I use the logical operator? Yes. In the logical expression, this must be always a number. Everything is correct here. So that's the reason for this. The answer is, okay, 200 because everything is correct. What are the rules I followed? Started with equal sign, okay, and so on. Everything is correct. One after other, you can start noting down. Now, for example, equal to, concentrate carefully. A plus 10. What is the answer? Can anyone tell? The answer is a name error. Why? Very simple. Text must be covered in the double quotes where in the formula. Simple. I am not covered with a double quotation. Now equal to double quotation A plus 10. Try to concentrate. Two things. Now what is the formula I have written? Here. It's a value error. You may be asking the question, Mr. Sharan, this is a name error. Why this is a value error? In this case, text is correct independently if you see, and the number is also correct. But this combination is wrong in arithmetic expressions. That means independently, this is a constant which is correct. Sorry, this is a constant which is correct because I covered with double quotation because it's a text. This is a constant which is correct. It's a number. For this expression, this combination is wrong. Okay, that is the reason it's a value error. So when value error will come, value error comes in case of value error displays in case of invalid expressions are arguments. I'll let you know the meaning of arguments little later. That is what the value error is. Now we'll take one more example. Equal to, now A94 plus 10. Will it give you correct answer? Absolutely. There is no doubt because it's a valid cell reference. Valid number is there. Valid cell reference is having a number. Number plus number is a number finally. As simple as it. Now friends, equal to, for example, 10 plus 10. Ideally this is, sorry. What is the answer? Ideally this must give you value error. Why? Because you cannot use text into the formula. Friends, very important rule this is. You cannot use text into the formula. Why? Because if I use a text into the formula, I get a value error. In this case, my answer must be value error, but there is an exception. Very important thing. Ideally, as per the rules, this expression must give me result me value error. But this is exception. What is the exception? In case Excel identifies any number having the nature of text using the same in the arithmetic expression, Excel automatically converts text into number. As simple as it. Okay. In this case, now let's see whether the rule is applying or not. Yes. Is it a text? Yes. But looking like a number? Yes. In those cases, Excel will convert this text into a number. This exception is only if we use a number having a nature of text in the arithmetic expression only. Very important. So then this entire expression, this is more important. It's not the case wherever we want. No. Okay. So friends, I'm just stopping here. Tomorrow we'll cover the remaining value errors, value types and so on. Friends, don't miss sessions, okay? Because tomorrow onwards, slowly we started, from tomorrow we'll started going into the formulas. Then we'll try to understand different types of cell references and the name convention. I'm sure tomorrow, by tomorrow's session, we can cover the values, everything, and formulas, and we'll be into cell references, and we'll try to understand the name convention. From day after tomorrow, I'm sure we'll slowly start talking about startup functions and rules of the functions, the difference between small minor things in the syntax and so on. Okay, so this is topics for today. I think till here we completed. These two are pending. So let me write next day. I think these are carry forwarding. Okay. Arithmetic logical expressions are not covered. Examples with I think tomorrow we can cover all these. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a private message to me by Dhanunjay. Uh, Sir, please speed up the basic concepts so that we can spend more time on advanced topics. I do understand, Dhanunjay, but every rule is very important here. So mostly you can feel like today and maybe little tomorrow that these are all very basics. But once we go into little advanced, I'll connect with everything. Okay. Uh, don't worry, I'm having my own type of structuring the things. Just Dhanunjay, spend with me, okay, for today and tomorrow. I'm sure you can find the meaning of small things. Okay, so that's all for today's session, and just be for 2 minutes. I'll quickly put everything into okay the application.